watching the recording. Today, I'm again answering your questions regarding anything related to moving to or living in the Czech Republic. So when you're joining the live stream, write your questions into the chat and I'll be happy to answer them. As I mentioned in the description on Facebook, I know everything as as I should. So I'll be happy to answer everything. Yeah, just a disclaimer, I don't know everything, so there might be questions I will not be able to answer, but I'll do my best. Surprise me, guys. Ask a question I don't know, or I don't know the answer, and you win my Bowen hat. I will shout out your name here. Okay, Cristiano Ronaldo 7. Hello, how are you? I'm good. Thank you for asking. How are you? And thanks for joining again. The Max. I have more questions incoming again. Okay, where do you take the questions, or where do you get the questions? I don't know, man. You've already asked like 70 different questions. Are you trying to I don't know. The Max. Weird live stream again. Probably not that weird, but just try me. Try asking something I don't know. Not weird, just challenging maybe today. And I'll stay for I don't know how long. We'll see. 20 minutes for sure. I always do at least 20, but then it usually takes longer because you have a lot of questions. In the beginning, no one asks anything, but when more people join, then the questions start popping up, and I would not stop ever if I was to answer all your questions. So I usually have to stop the live stream after some 50th question or something. So hello sir, how long I can stay outside Czech as a long-term residency holder? Hello, thank you for the question. It depends on the residency, but generally you have to fulfill the purpose of your stay. And fulfilling the purpose of your stay means that you fulfill it more than half of the time. So if you, for example, get an employee card for 2 years, but you spend 1.5 years outside of the Czech Republic, you're not fulfilling the purpose of your stay because you're not in the Czech Republic for most of the time. So I would say generally you need to fulfill the purpose of your stay for more than half of the validity, but there are also other rules, of course, because for example, the employee card was not a great example because with the employee card, you only have 60 days after you leave a job to find a new one and switch and report it. Otherwise, the employee card will be canceled. So if you move and you stop working, or you go outside of the Czech Republic and stop working, then you can only do it for 60 days. Otherwise, the employee card will be canceled. If you can still keep your job and go back to, I don't know, India or wherever, but you still can work for the company, potentially the more than half rule would apply. So Max, the first weird question. Okay, according to your professional opinion, if you heard that, yeah, okay. So actually, the latest I will have to stop is 9 o'clock because that's when my phone shuts down. So yeah. So that's the latest when I will finish today. So according to your professional opinion, how's the immigration process for Slovakia? Do you think it's easy or tough compared to Czech in getting appointments, quota system, etc.? Honestly, I don't know because we don't deal with Slovakia, so I can only say from what I've heard from other people. I would say generally the processes might be easier, maybe. Because from what I've heard is that you can in some cases apply for your residence permit even inside, for your first residence permit, I mean, not for extensions and stuff like that, inside of Slovakia, which in the Czech Republic is not really possible unless you are applying for as a family member of an EU citizen. But we've had a client who tried the Czech Republic, didn't like, then went to Slovakia and submitted the application there without having any long-term visa in the Czech Republic or any residence permit here, and they accepted that everything was fine. So I would say it's generally easier, but then also Slovakia is a weird country politically now, so it, I guess, depends also on your nationality. Bashir Abish. I did a second interview for long-term visa other purposes 3 weeks ago and didn't get any reply. Does that mean they're preparing my refusal letter? Potentially they might, because the longer it takes, the higher the chances that you get denied. On the other hand, not necessarily, because they have to make the transcript of the interview, deliver it to the ministry, then someone needs to read the transcript, and then they think about it, and then they make the decision. So it's not like 100% sure that you're getting denied, but it's one of the options. Shamim Akhtar, good evening. Good evening, Shamim, thank you for joining. Aryan Singh, hi Jan, I've been waiting for my student visa since June 26. How much longer it will take to get approved? Hi Aryan. Well, you never know. The official approval time is 60 days, but it can take anything from a month to like 6 months. So you really never know. That's not me saying just because, but that's how it is. But if you applied on 26th of June, they have at least until 26th of August to make the decision by the law. So until then, you cannot really complain about anything. You cannot really do anything. So until the 26th, say, of August, you should patiently wait. Maybe you'll get approved before then. After that, yeah, then if it takes longer, you could potentially take some steps. Shamim Akhtar, I'm in Croatia and I want to come Czech Republic. Well, it depends on where you're from. If you're, say, from India, it depends, or like most Asian countries, all African countries, it depends on how long have you been in Croatia. If you've been there for less than 2 years, you cannot really do anything about the Czech Republic. If you've been there for more than 2 years, you could potentially apply for a Czech visa in Germany. So it depends on your exact situation. Armen Zalinian. Привет, Heris Gloch. Я не знаю, что это значит. Привет, Heris Gloch. Я не знаю. Извините. Anyway, Amila Prasad, hello, I got my long-term visa approval email from the DLA embassy on 31st of July, but for some time in my status check-in portal still being processed even after I got the visa approval email. Yeah, that's completely fine. If you haven't picked up the visa, let me know. We'll be happy to do the cheapest and the best insurance you can get. So that's one of the specialties for us, because we work with all the insurance companies and we get the best prices, but sometimes for some insurance companies even better than what you can get on their website or in their branches. Not from all, but with some we have this arrangement. So get in touch if you want this kind of insurance. As for the status itself, don't worry about it. As long as the embassy told you that your visa is approved, you're fine, because this can take a long time. The same way as it takes in the beginning before it appears in the system, it can be a couple weeks. The same at the end, because someone needs to actually check the box in the system of the Ministry of the Interior. They need to officially close your case, blah blah blah, prepare the documents for something. So it might take longer. But if you have an email from the embassy, that's an approval. So congrats. The max. So let's see. As an Indian living in France, would you recommend Slovakia? Because I've tried for Czech, but it's very difficult. I know I've been following for 2 years almost. I mean, you should try for a country where you have some reason to go to. You know, I would look at it from this perspective. From my perspective, it's not a good idea to say, hey, what is the easiest country to move to? Because I just want to live in Europe, because that will make it very difficult for you to move here at the first place and then maintain the residency as well, and you can potentially get yourself into trouble. So more like that, you should, or more, you should better say, okay, so what do I want to do with my life? I want to do this and this and this, and where is the best potential, like, or maybe where is the best potential for me, if I want to like grow professionally, if I want to do this, where should I move to make it happen in the best way, and then start researching this. And then you have higher chances if you like investigate Slovakia and you find out, okay, I want to study PhD in Slovakia. They're the best universities in Europe. They're not, but I mean, an example. There is a rivalry between the Czech Republic and Slovakia, so don't mind that. I'm just joking. But yeah, let's say they have the best universities, and I want to study this one because I went through all the programs and this is exactly what I want to study. Because then it also, if you go through the immigration interview, they will ask you questions about that. Okay, why do you want to study in Slovakia? Why this university? All that, and it definitely increases your chances if it's a real thing. If you're just looking for the easiest option, that's like in many other fields. If you're just looking for a shortcut, or like I've seen one very kind of popular TikTok video where it was like, ChatGPT, give me, I'm doing the Indian accent, sorry, because that was an Indian couple, but ChatGPT, give me 50 ideas of how to get rich, richer, filthy rich, within 2 months. Oh no, 1 day. And it continued like this for like a minute or something. I think people are always, or not always, but people are often looking for shortcuts. They want the easiest way or something, but that's not the best way always, in my opinion. So I would look at it from the other side. What you want to do in your life, and then based on that choose the country, not like which one is the easiest to move to. Manish, is there any work in software engineering roles by the government in Czech or Slovakia? If you mean like in the government, I don't think so, because I don't think that foreigners can work for the government. But you can work, of course, work for a company that is then hired by a government to do something. But you cannot be like a governmental worker if you're not a Czech citizen, I believe. Harsh Jason, hi Jan, hi Jason, Harsh. The Max applying from Dresden any better than other embassies outside EU, or is it still very slow? The decision, the processing time for the decision does not depend on the embassy, because that's done by the Ministry of the Interior in the Czech Republic. So that will always be kind of the same wherever you apply. The difference there is that all your documents must physically be shipped from the embassy to the Czech Republic. So if you apply in India, that can take 3, 4, 5 weeks before the documents are even delivered to the Czech Republic and the MOI actually starts checking them. If you apply in Dresden, it usually takes like a week before someone starts checking them. So definitely faster if you apply from Dresden, but not because of the embassy itself, but because of the location and the time it takes to actually deliver your documents to the Czech Republic. Marcelino Santos, or Santos. Where can I track the status of my visa as a Brazilian? I had my interview on July 21st with the departure date of October 15. July 21st, most likely no one has ever started checking your application yet, because it's not even a month, it's like 3 weeks. So if you applied in Brazil, probably no one has ever checked your documents yet, but you can check the status only if you have the application number. So if the embassy where you applied gave you an application number, you can check the status at the website of the Ministry of the Interior, which is ipc.gov.cz, and you can check the status, but you must have the application number. On the other hand, it does not really matter if you have the application number or not, because if you apply through an embassy, the embassy will let you know about everything. And if you've been listening to this live stream, you saw before that one person mentioned that they got the email from the embassy that they were approved before it changed in the system of the Ministry of the Interior where you check the application. So you will anyway know sooner than it will appear in the online system. So It does not really matter. You don't really need to check it if you applied at the embassy, but you can check it if you have the application number. Shamin Akhtar, I'm from India and living here from last 3 years. That's the Croatia question, right? So yeah, then if you want to move to the Czech Republic, you must have some reason for that. So you must either have a local job, or you must have a local business, or one of your family members must live in the Czech Republic, or you must want to study here. These are the 4 main purposes of stay that might be accepted. So again, kind of going back to the next question, yeah, if there is a reason to move to the Czech Republic, you should stick to the reason. If Czech Republic is just a random place on the map, might be complicated. But definitely easier than trying to apply from India, that's for sure. Shamim, how did you get a job in Slovakia from India, but in France currently? Okay, that's not a question for me. Kumar, I want to invite my mom on tourist visa for 3 months. What is the process and what documents do I need? Hello, first of all. Let's greet each other. But anyway, for the short-term visa, if you want to invite them, you can go to the foreign police, not to the Ministry of the Interior, but to the foreign police. And you can request or apply for an invitation letter where you say that you will pay for everything and you will accommodate your parents or your mom. And then you send this letter to your mom, and then she needs to go somewhere. Usually in India, it's the VFS to submit her short-term visa application. Generally like this. Harsh Jason, previously I got approval of long-term residence permit for studies. I went to embassy and got visa stamped on my passport, valid for 6 months. Should I get anything else to carry to Prague for permit? Not really, but the 6 months visa is just one entry visa, which allows you to come here, and then your 60 days clock starts ticking, and within the 60 days you need to get the residence permit. So you definitely need to go to the Ministry of the Interior as soon as possible, get registered, get the biometrics done, and get the car done. Kumar, hey Kumar. CR7, what happens if I missed embassy appointment in New Delhi? You're screwed, I would say. Now you can apply again for a new appointment, but you have to go through the standard procedure. So like every second Wednesday at 11 o'clock or whatever is the procedure now. And chances are that you will never get an appointment again. But it's not like you will be banned forever or something. You just need to get a new appointment, which might be a bit complicated. I already did my master's in France, Germany, and interned in Czech Republic too, but I'm currently looking for work. I have good plans, but always in the end, companies refuse me because of visa stuff. Yeah. Stay in France. Find a job there and be good in the job, and then Czech companies will find you there and will bring you here. Obviously, I don't know. Moving here for jobs is one of the most difficult things to do, because you need to find a company which knows what they're doing, must lack people in what they do, and must be willing to support you in the whole process and wait for you for 6 months. So it's very difficult to find a job that is willing to do this for you. Easier if you're already in France or in the EU in general than if you were trying to get a job from India, but still complicated. Mehuba Yassin, hello. K-Light, sir, I'm from Nepal. Good to know, I'm from the Czech Republic. The Max again, due to slow economy in France and Germany, fewer jobs, and I hear Czech and Slovakia are growing rapidly, so that's why I plan to try there, but always refused in the end by companies due to the visa. Yeah, that's what happens often. Marcelino Santos, I found my application number and the status is still being processed. I'm applying for long-term type, other 12 months. I'm worried about leaving too close to October 15 or not leaving at all. I'm worried about leaving, or not leaving at all. What are the chances of leaving quickly? Well, as a Brazilian citizen, you have it's late, sorry guys. You have 90 days to come to the Czech Republic even without a visa. So if you're applying as a student, I guess, just not an accredited program. And if you applied in Brazil, let's say, then if the visa is taken too long and your school is starting, you can fly to the Czech Republic just using your visa-free stay for 90 days and start studying. The only kind of disadvantage of that is that you will need to go back to the embassy where you applied. So if it was in Brazil, you will need to go back to Brazil to pick up the visa once it is approved. So that's the downside, but you can come here without a visa for 90 days. So I would do it if the application is not approved and you have to start the school soon. Manjit Kumar, sir, I have 15 years experience in dairy farm. How can I apply in Czech? Manjit, if you're from India, you live in India, don't even try, because there are quotas at the Czech embassy in India, in New Delhi, and the quotas are very low and very specific. So chances are that you will never get an appointment, never move here, and you will only get scammed. So that would be my answer. Suman Raj, where is your hairs? What do you mean? I have full head of hairs. Then some Chinese characters, I believe, which I don't understand at all. Hassan Mahmoud, I have an appointment on 19 August. I didn't get Indian visa. I can attend this interview. Can I extension time? Communicate with the embassy, which gave you the appointment, but chances are you will not be able to extend the time. They usually don't do that. They might reschedule potentially, but they usually don't give you more time. Arslan, are there accountant jobs? I'm working in England, but my visa will expire soon. If your visa is expiring soon, don't even try for the Czech Republic, because it depends how soon, but even just the visa process will take most likely like 4 to 6 months, plus finding jobs and everything. So it depends on how soon it's expiring, but if it's like 2, 3, 4 months, you will not make it in time anyway. AA, Free Palestine, okay, did you really have to do this? did you want to get political? Also, it's kind of like weird situation with like Palestine. So let's not get into that, guys. Otherwise, you will hear my real opinion and you don't want to do that. Mahmoudul Hassan, I'm from Bangladesh. Do you know Bangladesh? Of course. Dhaka is the capital city, right? Now we have a lot of clients from Bangladesh, so I do know Bangladesh. The funny or ironic thing is I applied for jobs in Úřad práce and under jobs for foreigners section, where are still actively hiring, but still they refuse when they heard the word visa. Well, I mean, it can be just there. I mean, the thing is that if they only advertise one job or like one position for like, I mean, they need one person. They already have the person chosen and they don't want anyone else. So this might be just a way to politely say that they don't want you. But if they have like 50 positions or like 50, they're looking for 50 people for the same position, that's kind of weird that they would not want you. But then it's definitely not, or at least in my opinion, it's not really related to the immigration status. Might potentially be because maybe they're only looking for Filipinos, or they might be in one of the governmental programs, so they want to use that, but might be just an excuse. Wellness Wisdom, I'm from India. Can I get unskilled world work? Not really. This is what I talk about a lot in these live streams, that if you're from India, Bangladesh, Nepal, Sri Lanka, all around there, your chances of getting a Czech visa or residence permit based on local employment are very close to zero. So there is a 90% chance that you will get scammed in the process rather than that you will actually arrive to the Czech Republic at some point. Amandeep Singh, my wife is a Czech citizen and I'm going on visitor visa of 15 days. Can I apply temporary residence? Yes, if she is your wife, if you're not just dating, then yes. But you only have the 15 days, so you have to prepare it well. If you need any help with that to make sure that everything goes smoothly, get in touch. This is one of our main expertises. We like know this like perfectly, but we would need to start working together at least say a month before you plan on arriving, because there are potentially a lot of things we should prepare, from like getting your merit certificate apostille translated if it's not Czech or if it's not done yet, to booking an appointment at the ministry because they might have appointments available in a couple weeks. So if you only start the process when you come here for 15 days, that's very risky that it will not work out. If you start in advance, then it should be completely doable. Czech merit certificate will make it for sure easier. Manjit Kumar, right now I'm working in delivery boy in Dubai. Yeah, Dubai might be a bit better because I don't think there are quotas, but still, for example, what I was checking yesterday, my colleague asked me about that Oman. There are no quotas either, so if you live in Oman for more than 2 years, you can potentially apply for an employee card because there are no quotas for employee cards, but the embassy's capacity for employee card applications is 9 applications every 3 months. So you have a chance, or you must get one of 9 appointments in 3 months' time. Question is how realistic it is. I don't know. I'm not saying it like that there is no chance. Maybe no one wants to apply in Oman, so you will have all the appointments available. But if there is 10 people that want appointments, you might be the one who doesn't get it. And you need to wait 3 months more, and then all your documents are expired and you need to get them again. So might be still a bit complicated. TikTok and videos. Do I need travel health insurance for employee card appointment? Not for the appointment, but when you get approved, then you need to bring health insurance covering usually the 60 days period of your entry visa. If any unskilled work available, can you inform me? We don't help with finding jobs, mainly because of this problem. As I mentioned, even if you find a job, the chances are you will never get an appointment. So there is no point in finding jobs if you cannot apply for any visa based on the job. And Cristiano Ronaldo 7, that will potentially, okay, so 2 more questions, CR7 and Chandra Kala, and then I'm quitting the live stream because we're getting close to when my phone shuts down anyway. As an employee card holder, can I work part-time job as a food delivery? Well, it depends on how you go about that. If you get a trade license and you keep your main job and you do the trade license as a side activity, you can do that. That's fine. If you want to like add it as an employment contract, you need to get it approved from the Ministry of the Interior first before you can add the job. And Chandrakala Pradeep from India, interest fitter job. Okay, so that's not even a question. So let's do Amandeep as the last thing. May I know how much insurance I need and type of insurance can I buy it from India? What should be the duration? If you also can help me to buy in Czech. Yeah, of course, that's for the married couple. So generally you need an exclusive version of the insurance, so not the emergency or the basic. And you need to get it for at least 6 months. Ideally longer, but it depends on like if you have some job promised and you will start working soon or not. But I would do at least 6 months of comprehensive care. We can get it for you, no problem. Get in touch. We'll be happy to arrange it for you as well. And that's it, guys, for today. Thank you very much for joining. Thank you for asking the questions, and have a good night or day or whatever it is where you're watching from. And I will see you again, guys. Monday, Thursday, until the end of the world. Goodbye.